Hey, wanted to follow up on a video I sent out this morning on living in balance. I think this is so important, and I think it's important to you to live in balance. And I just want to unravel that a little bit and talk about these areas. The five categories that I strive to live in balance is spiritual, emotional, relationships, financial, and physical. These are the five areas that are important to me. I know they're important to you. And the analogy I like to give to you is really, I'm sitting on this chair right now. It's a office chair, and I have five wheels. If one of the wheels were off balance, or one or two of them are off balance, or if they're missing in this chair, then I'm not feeling comfortable in this chair. There's something about this chair that I'm not going to feel comfortable in. In the same way, if you're not in balance in these five areas, you're going to be living in your body, and you're not going to be feeling right. There's a sense of uncomfortable feeling that you have when you're not living in balance. So what's the sense of being physically fit if you're financially broke? What's the sense of being financially rich and wealthy if you don't have, if you're not, your emotional well-being is not in state? So these areas they work as one. And when one is off balance, we feel it. We're not happy. We're not at peace. And we have to strive for these areas to improve on these areas. So one thing that is healthy for us to all do is to do a spot check. Look at your life and write down these things, these five categories: spiritual, relationships, emotional, financial, physical. The spiritual is your relationship with God. How well is that? Do you have a great relationship with God? How's your spiritual tank? The relationships is with people that you love, that care about, usually your spouse, your children, your parents, etc. And how are those relationships, right? The emotional aspect is our well-being. Are we depressed? Are we experiencing anxiety, depression, all these emotional disorders that people in general experience? And there's a root cause to that. So kind of getting help and walking through that, you may need to get professional help, and there's nothing wrong with that. The financial aspect is what I do, and I help families with really getting out of debt, building wealth, and looking at ways to live in peace with finance and having a plan there. So if you don't have a plan to be financially fit, then you should have one. And then the last one is physical, really just taking care of your body with working out, with eating the right foods, the right nutrition, and really taking care of your body. So what I want to encourage you all is to live in balance and to do a check. Take a snapshot of your current situation. How are you doing in these areas? You may be doing really well in 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5, but there's 1 or 2 areas that you need to improve. And let's focus on that area. Let's not just kind of go through life in this phase that we're just kind of figure it out. No, let's be intentional about it. Let's look for ways that we can improve. And if you need to get help, there's nothing wrong for asking help. There's therapists, there's pastors, there's financial coaches like me. There's people that personal trainers. There's YouTube videos. There's so much content out there. There's books that we can read. Tons of information. So it's not really a lack of resources. It's really a lack of intentionality in these areas and really focusing on growing these areas. And I promise you, if you begin to start focusing on these areas and having balance in your life, you're going to live a much richer life. You're going to live a life in peace, of happiness, of joy, in a place where we all need to be, including myself. And I understand that I need to be in balance as well. So I'm currently working on some of these areas myself, particularly physical. So I hope this encourages you. I hope this encourages you to take action because we have to take action. Action is the answer to most of our problems. If you take action, things will happen. I understand there's a sense of God having to do and Him doing His work, but He calls us to take action. And I hope that you will today. Have a good night.